How much do you care about your financial health? My name is Paul Vasquez with Tax Lab. We help people become ethical millionaires. When it comes to physical health, many of you may go to the doctors once a year for an annual checkup, so long as nothing bad has happened. And you go there sometimes with a bit of apprehension, and you just cross your fingers that everything's all right. The same happens probably at the beginning of every year during tax season with your financial health. You get your taxes done, or you do them yourself, and at the end of that little checkup, you see how you did financially for the year. Often with some apprehension, because it may mean that you're getting some additional taxes, or maybe with a little bit of joy because maybe you're expecting a big tax return. With your health, however, maybe there are a few check-ins that you do a bit more regularly on your own. Maybe you weigh yourself at the scale. Maybe you track your steps. Maybe you track your sleep. Maybe you do some important dental hygiene things to keep your teeth healthy on a daily basis. If you start to examine your life and you say, okay, what are some of the things I do more consistently to help me be physically healthier? I might go to the gym. I might have an exercise routine. I might think about the foods that I'm eating and set goals about how to eat and drink more health consciously. But how often do you apply similar things to your financial well-being? You might have credit card payments or bills that you pay on a monthly basis, and this may give you kind of a monthly check-in as to how you're doing financially. Was there enough money to pay the bills? Did you have any left over? Are you able to save and put money away? What did that pay stub look like? Just like with your health, you can become more proactive in thinking about your financial well-being like you might your health. The thing about health is you've got an automatic feedback system regarding your health. How do you feel? Well, you can take account of that without going outside yourself. Your feeling of physical wellness happens right there. You get tons of signals coming back from your body, letting you know if there's something wrong. However, we don't have an innate barometer or indications that come to us always same physically as with our finances as we do with our health. So, if you were to take your financial health more seriously, you could be more proactive about taking into account and utilizing. You actually have to either physically go out there and create those feedback systems, buy accounting software, hire an accountant to help you keep track of your financial health. Unlike our physical health, where we've got this inborn barometer of our feeling of health, we don't necessarily have that when it comes to finances. So we kind of have to create that, and we kind of have to be a bit more proactive about our financial health. If you're not financially healthy, you can ignore it the majority of the time. It's a lot harder to do that when you have a physical pain or a physical ailment to just ignore it. It can affect lots of areas of your life, but having bad finances can also do the same thing. It's just not as constantly present with you as the feeling of, or the result of low finances is not as painful as the physical ailments are. And so it's a lot easier to ignore. So what I suggest is that you track it and have a check-in on at least a monthly basis. A monthly basis, kind of look and see what I do is as I track all my different income sources, whether that's the W-2, the 1099, the investments, anything that I'm going to be taxed on. I definitely want to keep track of that and understand that. I may need to make estimated payments during the year if that is the case. If that wealth that I have outside of the W-2 is increasing, or I've gotten that, I may need to pay estimated taxes during the year. So I want to keep track on that because those are due quarterly. So you might be forced to have a quarterly check-in, but you should be keeping track of your finances on a monthly basis, in my opinion. This way you have a tool in place, whether that is an app, an accounting software, a spreadsheet, your bank statement, something that helps you take a measurement of how you're doing financially. And even if maybe you don't like what it says, maybe like with the doctor check-in once a year, maybe you have a little bit of apprehension about viewing that, but you have to be a little bit brave and say, regardless of what these numbers say, it's important for me to take a look at those. And you don't have to know a lot about money to get benefit out of that. Beginning to know and understand the inflows and outflows of your finances can help you make better financial decisions month to month. And maybe you're fine. You don't want to worry about it, and I get that. But there's two ways of not worrying about it. There's the not worrying about it regardless of what happens, and not worrying about it because you've taken care of it. You have a system in place that manages things for you, and so long as you stick to your system, you're going to be okay. You don't have to worry about it. One is a bit more proactive. The other, you're kind of just avoiding it and hoping for the best. Just like that's not always the best thing to do with your health, physical health, it's not necessarily the best route to take for your financial health. If you want a financial plan, if you want tools to help you, whether you're managing those tools or we are for you, go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, and get a free 15-minute introductory phone call to our comprehensive consult service. That's kind of where we kick it off, where we get started to see where you're starting from, so that way we can understand what course you might need to take moving forward and how we might be able to help you get there. I wish you guys all the success.